What's up, budget buddies? It's Kim. Welcome to Debt to None. For those of you that are new, and for those of you that keep on coming back, welcome back. Bear with me, because if it is Tuesday, you should be looking at a real talk. But, So, okay, what I really wanted to talk about today is I just made my 1-year budgeting debt-free journey anniversary as of January 1st. Yes, 1 whole year. So what have I learned so far? Hopefully I learned something. What have I done so far in my 1 year of budgeting and paying off debt? I want to show you all everything, where I started as of January 1st, 2022. What was I looking at as far as all of my debt is concerned? Because you guys didn't see that.
Who you paying debt to? Debt to none! Who you in debt to? Debt to none!
I ended up just putting everything on Instagram because I felt it would be easier, but I really do enjoy talking about all the ins and outs. It's hard to just keep typing, and on Instagram, what are you going to do? Type a novel underneath a post? I mean, you could, but I don't know. So I'm like, let's give it a try again. So I want to show you everything that I was dealing with. My debt has changed. I was dealing with other different accounts that you guys have never seen back then when I first started. And, and then I added to my debt, of course. Well, many of us have done that during our journey, and, myself included. It doesn't feel good. I'm going to admit that. Those of you that know that feeling, it doesn't feel good. But more often than not, it's for a really important reason. It's like, okay, I have to do this. I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to go ahead and pay it off. And I get it. Trust me. I understand there's many of the school of debt is dumb. There's no reason to take it on. Just save your cash and don't go into debt. I understand that school of thought for sure. But I'm also from a place, sometimes it's hard to avoid, Sometimes you don't have a few extra thousand or a few extra 30,000, So if it happens, you guys don't beat yourself up about it. If it's for a really important reason and you're like, look, there's no way around this, put that in on your spreadsheet, however you're doing it, your chart, whatever, map it out, look at how long it's going to take you to pay it off, see what extra you can throw towards it to get it paid off at a faster rate. If you're dealing with interest. Even if you're not dealing with interest, like at this moment, I'm not dealing with interest, but there's something about that feeling of having that ball and chain of debt just around me that I've gotten to the point in my life where I'm just like, I can't keep doing this. I don't like this feeling any longer. I'm not sure if I ever liked it. I don't think I actually liked it, but I was like, whatever, everybody's in debt. Oh, please. It's time for me to get a new car, or it's time for me to get that designer bag ×2, because I like to buy multiples. I was in a different place as far as my thinking is concerned. And now I'd like to say I have matured when it comes to how I handle my finances. It's been a year, and I'd like to show my progress. In January of last year, exactly a year ago, well, you know what I'm saying, because we're already 10, 11 days in to January. So Last year, I had 5 accounts open with balances that I owed, right? Okay, so the first account I had was my Citibank preferred card. I had a $7,900 balance on that. And if you remember from me discussing in previous videos about that home improvement loan that I had for siding and windows, that's where that balance came from. This is one of the cards that I split that loan into. So I did what's called a flex loan with Citibank, and okay, so that's a really great idea if you're in a high interest loan, like I was, because flex loans are, well, how they were doing it back then, they will give you a loan for like however long you want to be paying on it, and you can pay on it for like 5 years, like a car note. And the interest rate, I guess it was like a special they were doing, was 6.99%. Well, that was better than the 10% that I was paying with the home improvement loan, right? So I went ahead and transferred a chunk of that home improvement loan over to the Citibank card. And at this time, remember, that home improvement loan balance was like $19,000. So that was that. And then I used my credit union to transfer the remainder of that home improvement loan too. So I did all this in December. Mariah, don't come in the living room. Oh. Thank you. Okay. So I did all of this in like December of 2021 so that I can get through this debt at a faster rate. Okay, is it on? Okay. So I transferred $11,220. That's such a weird amount, and I'm not sure why it's like 2,000. I'm not sure. I'm assuming that's the remainder. So I transfer that to my credit union card. Okay, so those two cards have the home improvement loan, right? Now moving on. My newest Citibank credit card at that time, and still, I guess, was the double cashback card. But at that point, January 1st of last year, $99.28, then I had an Apple card with a $236 balance on there. And that was for an Apple Watch that I felt that I absolutely needed. So at that point, I just had $236 left. And Apple is so funny. I mean, I believe I was paying like $18 a month. That was the arrangement. And I was like, oh man, this is gonna take me forever to pay off if I keep this up. And then I had a car loan. So in January, I owed $77.57.93 on my car, and it was at a 3.99% interest rate. And I had just refinanced that car the previous year. So, and then when I mean the previous year, I meant like the previous month. So in November, December, I was going through all of my debt. I guess initially it started in September when I refinanced my home. So that was the first big move I did to lower the monthly bills. The monthly expenses, I was like, how can I get this as low as possible so that I could save up that $1,000 emergency fund? It was something I had never done before. So it started off with refinancing my home in September, which I believe knocked off like $50, $60 for us as far as our mortgage is concerned, and also brought in a better interest rate, because remember, in 2021, we were still dealing with the really good interest rates. So I did that in September, and then come November, now I'm looking at my debt, like, okay, how can I get this in a better order to pay it off? at a faster rate because I was getting clobbered by that home improvement loan. So these are the 5 accounts that I was dealing with when I started my debt-free journey officially January 1st of 2021. I was doing great, making chunky payments. Then I did receive that huge payment from a matured CD, which helped me just completely knock out that Citibank preferred balance, because there was interest attached to that. That was kind of neat how that worked, because I transferred that money, or, got that flex loan in January, and it was towards the end of January. So I had got it right at that sweet spot where the February bill would not include this loan. Like, my February bill was 0. So it wasn't hitting until March. So what had happened, which was really cool, I got the CD in the first week of March, and I just paid it off in full. And so I never was charged interest for that flex loan. That helps. That helps totally. I didn't even think that would happen, but it did. Then with my car loan, I was gunning it. Because the interest was attached to that. So I ended up paying off the car completely. July was my last payment towards my car loan. So that was fabulous. And let me tell you, I was feeling like I was on fire. Can we talk about that? I was feeling so motivated and so excited. For those of you that have been following me like the whole time, even on Instagram before I started my YouTube channel, you saw me really hauling butt and knocking out this debt. I mean, I did have that large lump sum, but even when it was just my everyday income, I was really throwing big chunks towards the debt. So by August, now mind you, I started off with a total of $27,114 of debt. Like, that's what I was dealing with in January of 2022. So when August came around, I only owed $8,200 in debt. I mean, that's beautiful. I felt so great. And then a little teenager raccoon. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about that little guy who destroyed a piece of my roof. So anyway, so I took on some more debt in September and brought my debt balance up to $13,284.58. I was, it doesn't feel great when the debt is going in the wrong direction. But that is what happened. And then, but I got it together, and I was like, you know what? it's going to take a little longer for me to pay this off, because I believe I was planning to be, at that point, before I took on the $5,000 for the roof, I was planning to be debt-free, I believe, by April. And I was taking my foot off the gas a little bit just so I can bulk up my savings. Because at first I didn't mind keeping that $1,000 in emergency fund and just throw everything extra towards debt, so I was able to move through it really fast. But like I said several times before, that's not really comfortable, and actually not very realistic to only keep $1,000 in your emergency fund. Now, I know all you diehard Dave Ramsey fans, will maybe follow the baby steps to a T, and everything he's dishing out, just eat it. And I'm not going to say anything against that, because to each his own. But realistically, when an emergency happens, like let's say you own a house, $1,000 just isn't going to cut it. So no. So I was like, let me concentrate a little bit more on savings. So I brought my debt payoff date to April of this year. Then we got the roof, and then I was like, I'm not going to be debt free until probably September. But everything keeps changing, right? So you guys heard me say, I'm just like, you know what? I think I'm just going to do it. I'm going to clear all of these balances by May. So now you saw what I owed, or the accounts I was dealing with last year. Those aren't the same accounts that I'm dealing with now. Okay, so for January 2023, here are the accounts that I'm working with. They look a little bit different from the accounts I had in January of last year, but the balances are very different. So I still have my credit union Visa, of course. I mean, I'm not going to get rid of my credit union Visa. But as of January 1st, I had $2,140 balance on it. But I'm going to go ahead and show you the balance now, because I just paid everything that I planned to pay for January. I went ahead and sent all those payments out already. At this point, for my credit union Visa, I have $2,090 owed. And then for my Discover, I have $2,740 owed for them. That Citibank double cash card, that was the one that kept charging me interest like obnoxiously. You guys saw that you that have been here before and have been watching my videos, you saw that, how it was just ridiculous how they were just really clinging to the idea that they wanted to charge me interest any way they could. Oh my goodness. For all of you that don't know, if you do a balance transfer on a credit card, don't ever, ever, ever use it. Put it up until that balance transfer is zero. So it's completely paid off, because your credit card company is going to make sure they're going to charge you interest for as long as possible on any charges that you make after doing that balance transfer. So don't do it. Put it up. And I love credit. I mean, I don't love credit cards, but I don't mind credit cards. So I'm not a no credit card person. Like, credit cards are bad. I'm not really that person. I think you can use them to your advantage. Like, you can, if it's cashback card, yeah, you can charge it. And if you have the money, you can charge it and then go ahead and pay it off immediately when you get your bill. Or like I like to do, I just pay it off as soon as I charge it practically. So when I do get my statement just says zero. So I normally do that, and I think that's great, because that cash back can add up. All right, so that was great. So what am I doing? All right, so my Citibank double cash card, they finally stopped charging me interest, because the last time was like, well, we're going to charge you interest on $1 and some change. So we're going to charge you 50 cents interest, because that's the minimum we can charge you. I mean, come on. I was like, if I see another interest charge after this, oh, there's going to be a problem. But no, they knew that they couldn't pull it. They could not pull it. Ew, it's done. So I got $2,000 owed to them still. And then the Wells Fargo, I now have $2,350. I'm not in as good of a place as I was back in August as far as what I owe in debt, when I owed $8,200, and that was awesome. I was so excited to get under 10,000. But I'm happy to report I am now once again under $10,000 in debt. Credit card debt. Okay. I'm not going to talk about the mortgage. Whatever. Whatevs. But I'm finally back under $10,000. I now owe $9,180. So, I'm excited. I don't know what this is right now. What am I doing? I am excited that I'm finally under 10,000 again. Oh, okay. What is going on, Kim? What's happening? I don't know. So yay. I really feel like this is going to be gone in May. I really feel like it, but I mean, I really do have to make sure I'm saving up. And here's my idea for those of you that don't know and haven't seen my plan, my debt payoff plan, my new and improved debt payoff plan that I posted in a video a few videos ago. My plan is to really focus on saving and generating some interest off of my savings, which technically is in my checking account, because at this point my checking account is giving me the most interest at 4%. So I'm just kind of focusing on building up that rollover amount as high as possible. And then in May, if I go according to my payment plan that I have mapped out for myself, I'll owe about $5,700 in debt. So I'm planning to just go ahead and pay $5,700 in May. That's the plan. So a lot of things have changed as far as what I'm going to do. I'm still doing savings challenges, well, but not very many. So I also wanted to show you my binder, my little cash envelope binder that I've been using to have prop money in it. And I've been using that to represent what I'm allotting towards different sinking funds and things like that. I am going to be using my savings cash binder still. Yes, I am. But there's only 3 categories that I will be saving towards from this point until May. So those are the only ones that you're going to see me stuff the prop cash in until my debt is paid off. So I'll just really quick, I'll show you that, what I have done. My dashboards are they're pretty in real life. They're like my favorite colors, but they don't pick up on the camera. Ugh, I have to do something. So first and foremost is my Chief Knockout. That's what I'm calling. That's what I'm calling this fund right here. And the reason why I'm calling it Chief Knockout, Mama said no. Yeah. The reason why I'm calling it Chief Knockout is because it's going to be whatever I need it to be at that time. That makes total sense. For my Chief Knockout, which is the debt, I'm just going to do these scratch and save challenges, 2,000, 1,500, and 1,000 plus on all 3. So you'll be watching me scratch those bad boys off. These are from M's Budgeting Paradise over on Etsy. And then since that's only 4,500 in total, probably a little bit over that, then the remainder amount, I figure I will use the 50 envelope scratch off from Hands and Bands, because it had higher amounts, because the total would be $1,275, and I already scratched off 4, which I used for something else. So I just went ahead and drew a black X through it. Oh, we aren't really organized, but we're getting it together. So the remainder of this scratch and save will be for that debt payoff. So that's it. So that's the Chief Knockout. So I'll be keeping track on my tracker that I made, which is conveniently on the back of this dashboard. So you will see this regularly. You will see me doing my 100 envelope surprise challenge, because that's so fun. I'm having the funnest time. The most fun. What's the proper way of saying that? I'm having so much fun doing that with you all. I love when you guys are picking numbers with me. It's just making it fun. And then I'm going to continue to do the Rock the Shop, which it's not a savings challenge or anything. It's just me picking someone's shop. I'm using the number generator to tell me how much I'm going to spend at the shop. So that's still on the table. And then my YouTube fund. Hold on. The emergency fund is in here as well. So I guess that is included. The emergency fund is going to be funded by the 100 envelope challenge. So I do need to keep track of what I'm putting in there. I need to get my life in order. So there's like cash in these envelopes. Excuse me. So there's cash in these envelopes right now. Some of them I'm going to have to empty out because we restructured things, and I'm just basically I'm doing like a do-over. So you will see me. I will get organized. I admire you guys that are so put together. I really do. I am not. I'm just not. It's just my mind. My mind's not organized. So yeah, what was I thinking? So this emergency fund does have things in it. And that, oh yeah. So what was I thinking? So I forgot to show you or talk about it, but with that 100 envelope surprise savings challenge thing, I was thinking once I've filled up like 9, because I believe it's 9 envelopes across, 9 down, and it's 11 rows. So, and then I had the chunky big envelope up at the top. Once I go not fill 9 envelopes, I'm going to go ahead and just transfer that amount to my emergency fund, and then we'll just keep on doing it like that. Why am I doing that? Because I do want to get the emergency fund money out of my checking account and just move it over to strictly savings. Even though I'm not going to be earning as much interest on it. So that kind of bothers me, but I just think that's the wise course. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And yeah, and that'll be kind of nice. Then you guys can kind of see what the total is so far. Like you can watch that emergency fund build up. That'll be nice because I am keeping track of the totals in one of my apps. So yeah, so that's it. That's what you're going to see on this channel moving forward as far as savings challenges. And yeah, because it's been a while since I've been messing with this prop cash, and it's because I was so mixed up. I was so confused and so like discombobulated with what I was doing in my life. But now I'm getting it together. So yeah. So today is, okay. Friday, you will see the 100 envelope challenge. So I think that'll be the day I'll go ahead and we'll do some of these scratch and saves and do some other savings challenges. I think that's ideal. I really appreciate you guys spending some time with me and checking out my progress for the year. I'm so excited I finally got on board with budgeting and got this together. Only having $9,000 left of debt feels so manageable, so doable. It's like, okay, I can see the end of this. Like I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh, in the spring, I will have no more credit card debt. Before summer, I will have no more credit card debt. That's awesome. Oh, so I'm so excited about that. Thank you guys for coming here and cheering me on, and all of your encouraging words. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. I really would appreciate your support and you coming along on this journey with me. I try to keep things super fun. I mean, I'm just kind of crazy and nutty in real life, so I do try to add that, like bring that energy to my channel. So I hope you like that and you decide to go ahead and stick with me. So we all can have fun together. All right, so that's it for this video. I will see you on Friday. We're going to go ahead and get that 100 envelope surprise challenge done. There will be a winner revealed. If you have not already seen that 100 envelope challenge video, that's the video to leave your number in and the opportunity to win a gift card if your number is the one that is picked. Okay, thank you so much. I hope I see you next time.